This is your WW3 news of a Monday afternoon. Now, instead of covering the usual doom and gloom, just want to cover a story which occurred at Milano. To begin with, political correctness and extremism, environmental warriors is ruining our society, and it's ruining the future generation. Milano. This probably occurred a few days ago, and it happened in one of those parks, a birthday party in a park. Everything was prepared as usual. Pounced out two uniform officers of a so-called ecological guardian volunteers. Who the fuck they are, who knows? Got the foggiest idea, they're not even legit police officers. They have fined the dad of this little girl and her €80 because they have violated one of those municipal orders regarding about what you may call it, the use of public parks for regarding, for example, a birthday party, regarding pinning up some type of decorations on the trees and using chairs. €80. Unbelievable. And obviously, you know, the parks of our cities here in Italy are notoriously turf for pushers. And mind you, these so-called pushers were hovering around. They're allowed to do their illegal activities, but celebrating a little girl's birthday with her friends after school, no, has become illegal. This is how absurd, even here in Italy, society has become due to this political correctness bullcrap. Shove up your fucking arse. You know, they seem they got it with innocent bystanders instead of catching the fucking criminals, drug dealers and violent illegals going around. Today, I think it was yesterday, a referendum of the separation of the careers of the magistrates. Well, it seems like, you know, is heading its way. Next time, when you go in front of a judge, when it comes, there's one of those illegals which use violence on you, or in narcotics and things, and the judge left them off the hook, you can say thank to you, because you just give them a, you know, a good excuse to not applicate the law. Because even in the justice system, there is a lot of contamination of this type of political correctness ideology, lefties otherwise. And if you hear kids have been taken away from parents by a judge of the juvenile courts, God knows where in whatever country, because the social services had received a report your kids were untidy and they have to be put in foster, take it on them. Or on the people who practically voted for no. You just don't legitimise the corruption, ideologically speaking, of the Italian justice system. Or yet again, an illegal gets away with it on a technicality because it's racist and stuff like that. Then afterwards, if you're a citizen and you just a little bit go over the line, they'll throw the book at you. This is how the justice system works here in Italy, like in other Western countries. All in the name for political correctness. Bullshit. It should be impartial. A person should be judged on the evidence for the felony he's been accused for. If there's a mathematical venue with the evidence presented, you get condemned. And the judge will applicate the sentence and the punishment which he or she foresees you should undergo. No, when it comes to these fucking foreigners or illegals committing crimes, I'll put a little thing, do you know what he's doing? I'll put a little thing in this country, he could end up in prison where he came from, because the fact is they're too harsh with honest citizens and are absolutely soft with those hardened criminals, especially of foreign importation. This is dedicated to all the dickheads who voted no. And if one of these foreigners break into your house and to defend yourself and your loved ones, you get accused of excess of self-defense, you just authorise the judge with this referendum to judge the way he fucking likes without taking into account the laws, whether this person had criminal record in the past, and the gravity of the offence which he or she committed. Let off the hook, slap on the wrists, and like I said, you could be victims of misjustice, or your next door neighbour grass up on you because you hear shouting from your house to your kids because they were misbehaving, and then afterwards social workers stick their nose around, and next for nothing your kids will end up in care, and you or your companion will have to undergo stupid psychological tests to make believe if you're worthy to bring up your kids or not. This is how society has become absurd. This is basically two stories which I've mentioned, which, you know, I'm absolutely disgusted. Society, for example, like that with Italian, is losing its values due to the invaders. And obviously these lot want to put themselves about, Jack the Lad, all that shit. We can say, thank you very much for making our life a shithole. Turning our parks and neighbourhoods into a far west. And obviously a certain spectrum of politicians, lefties for example, they don't give a fuck, because it's just a fuel tank of future voters, future citizens, which do not contribute in no way to society. Practically they live off the taxpayers' back. 90% of these people don't even work. They live in council houses, all their bills for them are paid, and they go around in luxury cars. That is strange. And then afterwards they go to the church and knock on the door for food, and have a caravan of little kids behind them. That's how society's going towards. Just turned into a stupid, multi-ethnic shithole. Simple as that.